Crappie fishing has changed over the years, in large part due to the evolution of electronics revolutionizing the way we fish for crappie. Now clearly we've seen better weather during past crappie trips, but a little rain can't stop us.
All right, you can see here we've got some adverse conditions today. It's late fall, it's raining. It's a welcome rain because we could use some. And you know, I'm not sure what it's gonna have the fish doing. It's probably gonna have them lightened up a little bit. We're gonna go out here on some structure, you know, in that 8 to 14 foot range, kind of that in between summer and cooling off into the fall, and just see if we can catch some on the new bait called the Swimmer 1. It's really got a lot of action. They've been eating it good. Let's see if we can catch some today in the rain. We're out in the middle of nowhere. This is a giant flat, and the reason we're out here is because there's some contour changes that we can see on our electronics, and the shad are out here everywhere. You know, they're gonna encompass these flats over the next month or so before going deep for the winter, and these fish have followed them. So what we've done is out here forward-facing sonar, we're just gonna poke around and look for a stump, a piece of structure, something man-made, a rock pile, anything that's gonna hold a group of fish, and hopefully we can catch enough for a fish fry tonight. There's a nice one right there. There's, you can see right there, you got him in the roof of the mouth. I mean, that's where you want to hook him. That's a nice big old frame fish right there too. And I mean, you know, the fish are so healthy this time of the year just because of being fall and everything, but you know, that's what you want. You want to hook that fish right in the roof of the mouth. You know, he ate the bait right, he liked it, he trailed it, and that is a nice crappie right there. We're gonna have us a fish fry. Thank you, One Standard. All right, so this is it. This is the new Swimmer 1 from One Standard. It's a 2.15 inch swim bait. It's gonna replace your traditional twister style bait that we've all used for years. It's kind of a hybrid. Got a nice shimmy, nice tail movement, and it doesn't have an overpowering paddle tail. It's also got the same body as the minnow one that you can see there. It's got the relief cuts, a lot of action. You can't hardly keep that tail from moving. What I like is the fact that when you start taking it away from a fish, when it's still a little bit warm in the fall, that tail kind of is moving, and then you wind it faster and faster and faster, and it actually looks like a natural bait fish fleeing, and they have been eating it really well on the takeaway. So it's just one of those baits you can do a lot with. You can throw out, you can fish it over grass, wood, brush piles, you can fish it a little bit vertical, take it away. Something we've been fun with. It's brand new, and it's one you're gonna love. Now that's a big one. He looked big on the flex too when he come out there chasing it. It's a nice one. Well, that is a nice one, you know. Look at there. There again, nice big old white crappie. You know, we're throwing an 1/8 ounce today. You know, I think today with the conditions, with the overcast, you know, the 1/8 ounce is probably better just because the fact that they're kind of cruising. I see them up here on the flex screen, and they're moving a little bit on the bottom. They're kind of rotating around. They're not setting still where you've got to go to a 16th or a 64th or anything light. We're throwing an 1/8 at them, trying to bring it by them a little bit. They're a little more aggressive today, but another super nice one. Boy, I got him on the takeaway. Now, I wish you could see it on the screen. He hit it so hard I probably sucked his sides in when I jerked, just because he was tailing it away. Golly, that's a good one. And you know, you're catching these fish like this. This is why we use 7-pound sunline. I mean, that's a good 1.25 or better fish, you know, and you don't have to actually use like your traditional 4-pound monofilament, you know, especially on a day like today. It's cloudy, they can't see that good. We got a little stained water, but that's what I'm gonna consider a really nice crappie for this part of the country.
Jeremy's off to a great start catching really nice crappie on the One Standard Swimmer 1. As we head to a quick break, let's learn about the new AFTCO gear Jeremy is sporting today to keep him insulated from the elements.
This is the new stuff sack from AFTCO. I like to keep my rain gear in it. It does a couple of things. It's 100% dry. If for some reason one of my lockers would get some moisture in it, won't get in my rain suit or any other gear. And also it keeps it from rubbing. Like your rain suit will get chafed inside a boat rubbing on something in there. And this right here keeps it from happening. But you know, this is a really nice new suit. It's called the Fortress. This is a suit that's made out of Toray layer material, and it's got AquaGuard zippers. One of the nicest things is you can unlock that zipper all the way up to your knee. So when you go to put it on, it's super easy and just makes it really nice. When you look over to the coat itself is really something that they put a lot of thought into. Right here, first things, speed vented hood. Lets all the air go right out behind you. That is really nice because it doesn't try to choke you going down the lake. If you're running with your hood up, the air goes right through. And then same Toray layer material. And this has a dry cuff system. You can see here, you got 2 cuffs inside here. You tighten one of them up Then the outside one you can leave a little bit loose but still be very water repellent on the inside, as well as everything to do with AquaGuard zippers. The one thing I've learned is if you have a good rain suit, that's something you don't want to skimp on. You're going to stay out longer, you're going to fish better, and then you're just going to enjoy the whole experience more.
This segment was brought to you by the brand new One Standard Swimmer One swim bait. Head on over to onestandardfishing.com to order your Swimmer One today and start fishing better. Welcome back to Grand Lake, where Jeremy Lawyer has been testing out the brand new Swimmer One from One Standard. Now, let's see how Jeremy prevents those crappie from getting too educated and uses his electronics to keep catching crappie.
Okay, we're gonna put the Swimmer One down for a second. I'm gonna show you a little trick here. We're gonna pick up the minnow one. So what we've done is we've caught a handful out of that pile, and we've got a couple to follow it. So what we're gonna do is, one, switch up colors, but two, switch up profiles. We're gonna stay with an 1/8 ounce, but we're gonna go to the minnow one and a June bug shardy over the June bug. Just give them a different look, and I'll bet you we can catch a couple more before we gotta move. Okay, so on the flex here, you can see this is the brush pile the crappie you wanna be in. So we'll see if we can drop that minnow one down there. You'll be able to watch it go right down in that pile. You can see here, I'm bringing it to it. I'm gonna stop on this side and kind of pendulum through it rather than drop it just absolutely straight down on them. And what that's gonna do is allow them to just not be quite so educated. So you look at them kind of fight over it there. But that's a small species structure. See, you see that followed up out of there? That's what you want to do on that lift, and you'll get them bigger ones to bite sometimes. And I mean, right there was a perfect example. Now look at this. This is what I really like. Look how big that is. I mean, that is down in his gullet. And we just caught these fish out of this pile on the Swimmer One, and we made a bait change. And then, I don't know if we caught the biggest one, but we caught a really nice one. And that's just because we paid attention to what was going on, made a bait change to the minnow one, and then that right there's the results. Forward-facing sonar has really changed the way that we fish. You know, for years we traditionally had a target threw out, or you went somewhere and dropped a buoy and just fished a piece of structure, brush pile, whatever. And we're actually just out here on a brand new area, and we are simply just roaming around looking on the flex with forward-facing sonar to where we're finding new stuff all the time. We're not dependent upon going back to the same haunts, the same brush pile. The idea of spider rigging and pulling and pushing and different techniques are kind of fading out a little bit because the effectiveness of being able to just look around on forward-facing sonar and capitalize on fish that you've never been able to catch before. Now we've got them fired up now. You know, when you can drop that minnow one right back down there and catch another one, that's what you want to do. You want to keep them fired up. That's why you want to rotate the bait color, you know, choices like that. If I would have stayed with the Swimmer One and tried to force feed them, probably could have caught another one or two. Switched to the minnow one in a different color, the June bug shardy. I like something different. I don't think fish can see white or chartreuse, but they do see different colors, and obviously he liked it. Found a really good group of fish on a piece of structure. We caught a half a dozen on the Swimmer One, and now we've changed up to the minnow one. And what we're going to kind of do here is we're going to do something that's kind of like squatting. We're just going to let it just sit there in front of them, not a lot of movement, and just kind of see if we can pick off a couple more. Sometimes that thing just sitting in their face is all it takes, like that one. He just couldn't stand it, and he's definitely a really good one, you know, but he just couldn't stand that sitting down there, that minnow one. So look at that. Yes, sir. That is a big one. That's a hubcap right there. So, you know, right there's a perfect example. We've done it a half a dozen times today, and man, I mean, hooked him good. But changing from the Swimmer One to the minnow one in the same area just to get that extra bite or two, and that's just the difference between, you know, getting your limit at the end of the day, having enough for a fish fry, winning a tournament, whatever it is. But those kind right there will do it.
As you may have noticed, each time Jeremy was switching bait presentations, he was also changing up the color of sunline he was casting. Let's check in with him before the break and see why he keeps so many different colors of lines stocked on his boat.
You can see here I got 3 identical Johnny Moore Signature Series reels on my setups with 3 totally different lines from Sunline. These are all 3 braids. The first one here is a Sunline All Might. This is a pink sinking braid. Really became popular with forward-facing sonar. It's going to allow you to get your bait down there faster. It's heavier than water, smaller diameter, casts a mile. It's a really great line for that kind of a setup. Second here is the Assegai. The Assegai has a coating on it that kind of keeps the water from drawing up the line, casts like a bullet, but it allows the line to kind of fluff in the water column. I like that when I'm pitching out in front of me, fishing timber, different things like that. And then last, you got the All Might sinking braid here, but this is in the orange, and this is a metered braid. What's really cool about it is the fact that at every couple meters, it's colored with a darker color on the braid. So if you're gonna use a straight braid setup, you can clip it right where it changes from orange to dark and tie your bait on, and you don't have to color your line, or if you're worried about them seeing your line if they're line shy. But 3 great products from Sunline, and you can always get them at your local Bass Pro Shop.
This segment was brought to you by the tried and true One Standard Minnow 1. Head on over to onestandardfishing.com to order your Minnow 1s today and start fishing better. Throughout the course of our time on the water today, we've seen Jeremy heavily utilizing the Flex 19 from Russell Marine Products. This large, crisp monitor allows anglers an advantage on the water by providing them with the highest resolution mirror image of their sonar. Here's another look at how Jeremy relies on the Flex 19 to continue catching crappie.
We've been looking here on our Flex run when this flat. You can see I got out 55 foot. This right here is what we're targeting. So what we're gonna do is start zooming that in. We wanna see some detail. I'm gonna get in there about 30 foot. And when I look at that, see, they start showing up. That's the importance of a 19-inch Flex right there. So you can see that little detail, because when you're off of them just a little bit, see, they don't even hardly look like much. And then when you're zoomed out the same way, but when you're exactly on them, you can see that right there, you can count them individual ones. And that's why the big screen and a lot of detail. Now anybody can see a 50 fish school, but to see a 5 or 6 fish school sitting on the stump where a lot of your bigger fish are, that is the importance of the Flex right there. Gosh dang, did that one hit it. Man, I'm telling you what, y'all never get tired of that. I mean, he cracked it. About the time it got pendulum with us, and I see why too. She's a nice one. Look at that. I mean, that is a good one. I mean, holy cow. I mean, a big old white crappie, doesn't have a mark on him. You know, really pretty fish for the fall. Now these fish are nice big frame and they weigh pretty decent, but they weigh a lot more on into the winter months and on into the earlier years. When they start fattening up, they start getting egg rows in them and things like that. But right now, that is an invite to dinner tonight.
True to form, Jeremy switched up his presentation once again in order to keep these crappies guessing. This time, he's sizing up.
All right, we're gonna give them a little different look. And I feel like today, I better stick with the chartreuse, but we're gonna throw the old candy corn at them. You know, this has got a little bit of a different hue to it, but it still is along the same lines as the conditions today, with Junebug Shardy being a good one, and then switching over to the Swimmer one and the chartreuse gold flake. So we're gonna keep it chartreuse. We're gonna put us a candy corn on here. We're gonna send it down there and see what they do. There again, I like a different color head. You know, I don't want to throw everything chartreuse at them. I wouldn't mind throwing a pink or an orange or whatever it might be, even a natural, but I wanted something different. Oh boy, that one hit it so hard, we might should have switched to candy corn a long time ago. Man, now look at this. This is a great example right here. Look at how he ate that bait. I mean, it is in his gullet. Right down there inside it, one switch to the candy corn. Made all the difference right there, you know. You know, that's the end of the day. It's been a great day. We've caught a lot of big old frame crappie, you know, pretty white ones, a little mix up of black ones. And just kind of a shout out to the Swimmer one and the Minnow one. And then having the combination to be able to catch them, doing both, you know. Catch those active ones with that Swimmer one. If you got to get up vertical to go to the Minnow one. But shout out to AFCO, because man, I'm telling you what, we've been out here in the conditions. I'm dry, it's nice, and it's nice to stay out here when the fish are biting and you can stay dry. Whew, they're mad in there at me.
As every single one of us anglers know, we're not really done fishing when we say we've reached the end of the day. When we come back, Jeremy can't resist switching up his presentation one more time to land a few more crappie. Before we head out, let's see how Jeremy likes to keep all of his lines organized to make finding what he needs a breeze.
All right, crappie fishing to me is either a braid, 100% straight braid, or a fluorocarbon leader. Gamakatsu makes this little bag, and I keep all of my fluorocarbon leader in there. Now you can see here from Sunline, I've got some FC leader. I've got several different kinds and different sizes, you know, so I'll just look through this, see the one I want, whatever it might be. There's some 7 right there. 7 to me is the perfect size whenever I'm crappie fishing anywhere, technically just not like so loaded up in timber that you can't get away with anything, or super dirty water where you could go to 10-pound test. You know, 7 for me is the way to go. And so when I reach for a leader size 90% of the time, that's probably it. So we're just gonna put it back in here. Fits nice and tight, all nice and neat. I don't like my line to really jump around a lot. I don't want it to vibrate and shake. That right there stores about as easy as it can right in any compartment of your boat and doesn't take up any space, but 100% it has you organized for every situation.
This segment was brought to you by Beatdown Outdoors, #1 in quality, performance, and reliability for all of your electronic needs. We're coming up to the final stretch of our day here on Grand Lake with Jeremy Lawyer. Let's see which of our one standard products Jeremy has chosen to switch up his presentation for the grand finale.
Get over here. Now, we made another bait change. We went for a third bait change on this pile. Means I ate the candy corn so well, we switched to the 2.75 minnow one. And this is a little bit bigger profile bait, but you can see there, that fish absolutely ate it. You know, a lot of times, you know, when you're fishing for quality size fish, a bigger bait, you think a shad out here, you see the tail sticking out of their mouth, be that long. The minnow one and the 2.75 imparts a lot of action like that. You can't even hardly keep the tail from moving, but it's a big profile. They really like it, especially when you're targeting bigger fish. Yeah, boy. You know, there's a lot of reasons like this right here. This is a really good fish. And you know, if you had a 5-foot traditional crappie rod, that would be a hard one to get, you know. So, I mean, we go to the 7-foot Denali dock rod in the Onyx series. You know, if you're gonna fight, you know, a big crappie, you're gonna need a bigger rod. And Denali's got a fine one right there. But, you know, just the whole system today with everything from the 2.75, changing up from the swimmer one to the minnow one, the Denali Onyx, big crappie, the All Might sinking braid, the Johnny Moore Signature Series reel, just the whole system is what's producing stuff like that in this day and age. You know, forward-facing technology has revamped the electronic side of it, and along with all these products, it's revamped what you're gonna use to catch them on. That is a big one.
That crappie certainly is a big one. And what a great way to cap off the day and head in for the fish fry that Jeremy has been teasing us with this whole time.
All right, so you've caught your crappie, you're gonna come in here and fillet them, you're gonna have a fish fry for dinner, whatever. I'm gonna show you what I believe is the easiest way to fillet one. You're gonna start with the crappie belly side to you. I think what that does is allows the knife to go in on a nice plump crappie, and you get every bit of this back right here. You can see there, it came right down the backbone, the rib cage. And then when you fillet that off, you've got every bit of that right there in that fillet. Now, when you flip him over, you've got the meat of the fish facing you. You got it closest to your knife. And that way, if for some reason you don't run exactly right down there, all the way on this side of the fish, you still got the side you want because you're gonna cut that rib cage out anyhow. And that is, in my opinion, the perfect way to fillet a crappie. So now it's time to cut the rib cages out of them. There's a couple different ways to do it. If you're an amateur fisherman and you're just kind of getting into filleting your own fish, simply take your knife and run it right down the rib cage here, then turn around and just run you a V right on the back side. That's a pretty simple deal there. You got a nice big fillet, it's ready to go. Nothing too sporty about that. So we got our fillets, we're gonna put it in the Uncle Buck's Better Breader. Uncle Buck's made it easy here to where just turn it upside down, give it a little shake off the extra, and then you've got all your fish right there, just like that, ready to go right into your cooker. Okay, so we got our temperature just a fuzz over 350. We're gonna start putting our fillets in here. You wanna have your fish nice and crunchy. I think the trick to keeping it that way is not let your grease get down below 315. It's not gonna take that long, you know. You're anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes, depending on the fish and thickness and as many as you put in there. But that right there is about as golden as crappie as I can come up with. The fishing's fun, but this side of it's really good too. So get you a cooker, have you an open mind, cook you a bunch of fillets, and have a good time.
We've had a great day showcasing our one standard products that will make your crappie fishing more successful. With the debut of the Swimmer One, you'll be able to entice those crappie to bite on the takeaway more than ever before with its irresistible tail action. The Minnow One remains a gold standard for triggering bites, no matter if you're using the standard 2-inch Minnow One or even if you're feeling bold and go bigger with the 2.75. With our one standard products, top-of-the-line electronics like the RMP Flex 19 by your side, a variety of quality Sunline fishing line, and robust fishing rods like the 7-foot Denali Onyx, we guarantee you'll have a foolproof system that will give you the advantage on those crappie all year long. Be sure to follow us on our social media platforms for additional content and to stay in the know for when we release new, innovative products. Until next time, keep on fishing with one standard in mind: to fish better.